Hey folks, my name is Dawson Mahalko. I'm the 15-year-old owner and operator of Jubilant Fields, and I'm going to take you all on a farm tour to show you what's going on here. And I'll be doing weekly farm tours to show how my farm is evolving and all the different things that are going on here, expansions, all that good stuff. So let's do it. So here is my easternmost area that I have in production. Half of this block here is pasture that will be getting seeded to cover crop shortly. Hopefully this next week it'll be getting seeded to cover crop, and then probably this winter I'll start building the beds here. All this area that's in black over here has a shade cloth on it. I've got beets and lettuce under here, and it's doing pretty well. It went in like 2 to 3 weeks ago. I don't remember exactly when I transplanted it, but there's a whole lot of beets interplanted with lettuce in here. Underneath the insect netting, it's beets and turnips. And then beyond that, there's even more beets, plus some radish interplanted with it. So that's what are in these 8 beds. The area back there that is tarped. I'll be direct seeding some beets soon. That'll probably be happening within the next 2 weeks. That area back there got a bit out of control, and I just didn't have time to go through and cut it all out, so I just threw the tarp over it where it's killing off all the grass and such that was under there. This area right here is where I harden off all my transplants. I've got a little bit of lettuce. It's a bit overdue for going in the ground, but I wasn't able to get the area that it's supposed to be going in ready last week when it should have gone in, but it'll be going in within the next few days. It's just a couple pallets here. I water it several times a day, and this is just where it gets acclimated to the sunlight and air and all that. It's not as protected as the greenhouse, and it definitely has no shade cloth here, and so it gets a bit of a relief when it gets transplanted into the field, where it gets a shade cloth right when it goes in the ground. This plot here is just east of my big greenhouse that I put up this spring. This is its first year in production, just like this area here. This is my second year in production, but most of the ground that I have in crops is just growing for the first year. So I've got a bed of lettuce here. A lot of it died off right after I transplanted it, but I've got a bit of head lettuce in it. This bed here was another bed of failed lettuce. I'll be transplanting a new batch of lettuce into it in a couple days. It'll probably get the lettuce that I have over in the hardening station right there. And the back, I've got some area tarped, and then broccolini, some more lettuce, and then more area tarped back there. Here I have a bed of baby leeks. It's right along here. And then another succession of baby leeks. I had something kind of weird happen right in the middle of the bed, where a lot of it died out for some reason, while the rest of the bed is doing fine. But it wasn't just a couple of plants that died out, it was a whole batch right in the middle there. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there, but that's something interesting to observe. This is a bed of failed carrots. It'll be getting reseeded shortly. Right here, I've got some carrots germinating under here. Got another bed of lettuce right here. Again, a lot of it died out, but there's a little bit left, and I'm so short on lettuce that I'm just trying to get anything that survives to maturity, just to try to get it out to my customers. Over here, this is something new for me. Because I'm so short on lettuce, I went ahead and attempted direct seeding some lettuce, giving a lot of water to try to get it to germinate in the heat. And this went in a couple days ago. It's just starting to germinate. I'm still not sure how good of a germination rate I got here. It's not Salanova, and I do prefer the Salanova for the spring mix, but it's something, and when no one else has lettuce, it's a pretty big deal just to have something. rather than nothing. I just haven't been able to keep up with demand. There's 4 beds here that are underneath a tarp. This is my nursery. Built this last year. It's pretty empty as today was harvest day, Monday to harvest day. So I just harvested most of the microgreens that are in here. Here's some onion microgreens, looking really great. Some pea shoots. And then next batch of microgreens all stacked and germinating right there. Here is big greenhouse. Let's show you that. It's empty right now. I cleared out almost everything in there just the other day because I have I'm gonna be putting in a new batch of cucumbers and then a batch of grafted tomatoes for winter that just arrived from a nursery in North Carolina. I have more nursery area over here. As I expand and I am doing more transplants and such, I don't have enough room in my little nursery. Even though it looks empty, it's really been crammed, but I've got some different fall crops going. That there is some cucumbers. They're going in big greenhouse within the next couple of days. I cleared out everything and just burned what plant matter was left, just to try to kill off anything that I had in here before, all the weeds. And the batch of tomatoes that I had in here before got diseased and infested, so I wanted to try to get rid of as much of that as I could. So I ripped out everything and then I just burned it with a propane torch. And then right here is my batch of grafted tomatoes that just arrived the other day. They look really good. I'm really excited about doing a batch of winter tomatoes. And I wanted to try to get as much vigor as possible with my tomatoes because they'll be so little light during the darkest months of the year. But you can see where the graft union is there. Great looking plants, super excited to see how they do. This big greenhouse here has a heater, and so I'll be able to seal it all up before winter and be cranking in here pretty soon. Next week when I do next farm tour, you'll see most of this area here planted out. This is the only area of my farm that is not on overhead irrigation. These 8 beds here, as well as the greenhouse, is all on drip. Just the crops that I'm growing here do better on drip. I've got some cucumbers. Cucumbers have been doing very, very well for me. This bed here didn't get trellised up when it needed to be, and it got to the point where I wasn't really going to be able to recover it and get it trellised back up. It just got too crazy, and so I'm just letting it go on the ground. It's been really suppressing a lot of weeds by just letting it go all over the place. Another bed of cucumbers. These have really been cranking for me. I'm picking at least 10 pounds a day, 10 to 20 pounds a day off of just these 3 beds here. Got a bed of peppers here. Peppers are not a big crop that I do, but I wanted to just give some a shot. So it's a mixed bed of hot and sweet bell peppers. And then in the back, I have some tomatoes. This is 2 beds of heirloom tomatoes that I'm trialing. I have 8 different varieties in here, just testing them to see what I like the most. And then ideally, I'll graft whichever varieties I like best onto a good rootstock next year. That way I can overcome a lot of the problems with heirloom tomatoes. But these are just getting going. A lot of green fruit. But I also have some beets interplanted along them. Kind of testing it. I needed an area to put in some beets. They're not looking so great. They seem to be getting a bit toasted by the sun, but they're still alive, so that's a good sign. They went in last week, but we'll see yet. If they don't make it, that's fine. But I figured I'd give it a shot since I wasn't using this entire area to the best of my ability. So I just laid down a side dressing of fertilizer and then just transplanted them 8 inches apart. But yeah, here's the heirloom tomatoes. They're looking pretty good on the Florida weave. Going bonkers. A lot of fruit just on one truss. This is just one truss and it's absolutely loaded. Starting to get one ripening there. Anyway, these two beds here, they had tomatoes in them. They just got cleared out recently. I'll be throwing a tarp over this, but they got diseased, so I wanted to get those pulled out, and I'll be putting in some more another round of cucumbers here pretty shortly. I just started the seed for them very recently. All right, and so this is the last area that I'm going to show you guys today. I haven't really been able to do much with it this year, but this area right in here where there's a tarp, there's some baby leeks. It's a bit of baby leeks there. And then I've got a cover crop in the back there. This ground is on its second year. I really wasn't able to do what I wanted to with this area here. I've mostly been focused on the eastern side of my big greenhouse. It will mostly get mowed all down. The surrounding areas, beds built and planted out this winter. That area in the back there will be getting tarped, and within a couple months it'll have a lot of beds built. I've got a cover crop there of sorghum Sudan and cowpeas. Sorghum Sudan is just starting to go to seed. I need to make sure that I get that mowed down very, very soon here. Otherwise, I'll actually have viable seed on my hands, and that will not be good. So then I'll have a sorghum Sudan. It won't be a cover crop anymore. It will be a weed problem. And then this area right back here also needs to get cleared out. Part of it was tarped earlier this year, but then I really wasn't able to get in here and get the beds built out and such, so it's just been like a weed cover crop. Just got a lot of weeds coming up here that are covering up the ground, and I'm okay with that. It's better to have something on it rather than nothing, but since I don't have any overhead irrigation back here set up, I wasn't able to get a cover crop in here that I would have chosen, so I've just let the weeds go for now. But this will be getting cleaned up soon enough as well. So that's it. That's the farm tour. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll have another one up in another week. I'll be doing weekly farm tours to show how my farm evolves, all the different things that are happening here, and our growth and expansion. Thank you all for your support, and if this is something more that you want to see, let me know, and give it a like. Thank you.